everybody, Linda here, Zwifting with Granny. Now this is a slightly different kind of video because it was a slightly different scenario than usual, and it made me so grateful to have something like Zwift in my life. And it also made me realize that sometimes I really have to force myself to slow down. Now, the other night I rode once again stage 2 of London, to get another spin on the wheel, of course, and my friend Kevin was there. Well, Kevin was having technical issues and he had to fix them, so I didn't know if he would be able to ride or not. I never really count on riding with anyone, it just seems to happen. So I went on my way, and as I'm riding, I see my friend Sean Amon's name pop up. So I yell in the chat, "Sean!" He yells back, "Linda." Sean has been a supporter of this channel since pretty much day one. He's always had something supportive to say, and we share the same sense of humor. He's a funny guy. As we were going back and forth in the chat a little bit, I noticed his time was getting lower and lower. So I said, "Are you slowing down to ride with me?" And he said yes. So I warned him that I'm just basically rolling here, and he said that was fine. It's times like this that Zwift amazes me. How a game, technically, can unite people that would never know each other otherwise, that have the same love of cycling, and create these bonds that would never happen otherwise is beyond my comprehension, but it happens all the time. You can see it in the chat when you're just riding, how people connect with each other so much. Like, for instance, there's this guy named Jim Nelson, and he's just a beautiful person. He says hello to everyone personally. He makes everyone feel important, and in my mind, I refer to him as the mayor of Zwift. He's funny, he loves riding, his wife Deb is the perfect complement to him, and the two of them just add so much to Zwift. You can see it in the group rides, where somebody says, "I'll be in the back if anyone wants to ride," and other people fall back and they start to go back and forth, and you know that they're going to end up following each other, and this is how friendships are made on Zwift. Now, I have the additional benefit of having a YouTube channel about Zwift, so I have people that support my videos who obviously are also on Zwift, and here's a perfect example. Sean's been a follower pretty much since the beginning, if not the very beginning, and has always made some kind of supportive comment or made me laugh or smile with something that he commented. And the funny thing lately is that I guess for the past couple of months, Sean's name will pop up as a ride-on in some event, and it's really funny because it always pops up when I'm dying, and I'll mention it in my videos. And here we are, and we get to ride together. So this is what separates Zwift from all the other platforms. If you just want to focus on the bike and you don't want to deal with other people, that's fine, you don't have to. But if you want to become part of a group and feel like you're part of Zwift, you do have that option. You can join group rides, you can join beautiful friendly groups like the Herd who welcome everyone. And there are a lot of things you can do to make connections on Zwift. It may take you a little while, or you may instantly click with someone. Now, I have the good fortune of having several people who I click with because of the combined YouTube channel, and this is a perfect example that you're watching right here. Now, at one point, Sean comments something to the effect of, "You forget how nice it is to just slowly ride on Zwift and just roll through the courses, taking them in and just enjoying the moment." And Sean and I joke back and forth how we both say, "Okay, today I'm just going to do an easy ride and I'm not pushing it." And then all of a sudden some group comes along and you attach yourself to them, and before you know it, you're fighting to stay on a wheel and you're pretty much going race pace. We can't help ourselves. It's in our blood to do that. But for this ride, Sean and I are actually doing that. We are actually slowing down. This ride will stick out in my mind for a long time because I love racing, or at least I love competing against myself, and I like seeing how much stronger I've gotten, and I can see that all of a sudden I can push higher watts for a longer period of time, and I could never do that before. But this big spin thing created a whole different scenario for my mind and my body, because it's cool to be able to ride and then be able to spin a wheel at the end of the ride, so you want to ride more. But what also happens for me is that I go on and I say, "Okay, I'm just going to take my time," and inevitably I see a wheel or I see a group and I decide I'm going to go with them. So what this event has done is gradually wear me down, because every time I enter something, Idiot Girl starts racing. I think it took 3 or 4 times of this event after this ride that Sean and I had together that I realized I've just been going and not giving my body a break, and my body is starting to rebel. And then I have to remind myself, how did I get strong? For me, it was long, slow miles. It was week after week of putting 200 miles in, not racing, just riding. The creation of the coastal route opened up a whole new door to me with being able to ride long, slow miles. So when I got on Zwift, initially that's what I did, because I don't do anything fast anyway. I just did long, slow miles. And after the cancer and I was able to get back on Zwift, I dove into it. I surrounded my life with it. Before work and after work, and then doing videos on it. I totally immersed myself in the world of Zwift because it was very healthy for me to do that. But then this big spin event comes along, and now I realize I can't race every single ride. I can't go guns a-blazing every time I see a wheel. There has to be some level of self-control. So I definitely am going to continue doing these big spin events because they're fun. But I really have to stop racing them. The strength is going in the opposite direction now. It's this ride with Sean that made me realize that I need to slow down. I need to just put zone 2 miles in and race once or twice a week at most, and that's it. I had so much fun on this ride with Sean. By the same token, I remember one ride during the Zwift games where Kevin pulled me through the course. It was going down Tempest Fugit and onto the coastal route, and I was dying, and I was hanging onto his wheel for dear life. And it was one of those times when I realized that I can push myself harder than I think I can. But I need those long, slow miles to get to that point. I didn't think I could really climb very well, and then I had to climb the Alp. And Fat Shark, who is not fat, accompanied me for 4 hours, which is unbelievable still to me. And I realized, hey, you know what, I think I may have an idea on a better way for me to do hills. Then I had the opportunity to do the Alp again, and that changed how I climb hills now. I may not be the fastest, but I'm much faster than I used to be because I figured out how to spin. So what I'm saying here about this ride is, yes, some of us have to race because it's in our blood. Yes, sometimes we push ourselves harder than we should because we love the challenge and we love the feeling of success afterwards, stuff like that. But we also have to slow ourselves down and just enjoy these moments that we have the opportunity to do something that a lot of people can't. We have the right bike equipment and we have the right technology equipment combined to be able to do this. We're very fortunate. I remember there was a time there was no way I could have afforded to do this, and this is a problem for many cyclists. But we have this opportunity, so sometimes we just need to slow down and enjoy it. Some people hate riding indoors, but there are some of us who thrive on it, and I'm one of those people. I read not too long ago about a top competitive woman cyclist who realized that her love is e-cycling and she doesn't even ride outside anymore and she doesn't care. All her rides are indoors on Zwift and she loves it. I don't need to race all the time, but I don't mind riding inside at all. Of course, on beautiful days, I'll get out there, but I really love this Zwift thing. I love being a part of it. I love being able to have a YouTube channel about it. And I love the friendships that I've made along the way. So thank you, Sean, for sharing these moments with me on this ride. And thank you, Kevin. And thank you, Fat Shark, who is not fat, and everyone else who has joined me on rides. This is the beauty of Zwift, and this is why I absolutely love Zwift.